He'll be here tonight, and he won't be at committee meetings. He says he's bringing gifts to us tonight from Ghana. So look forward. So we're giving some presents, and oh mercy. Is there a motion we approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Minutes approved. All right. Is it Zach? Okay.
All right, thank you guys. So we have two bars and we have two bars, taverns that were coming to you guys last week that are back on y'all's agenda. Y'all tabled them for 1 week. Nothing has changed with those. That is Crew and then Grandstand. Do y'all want me to go through that PowerPoint again to just kind of refresh your memory on what they are? Okay.
If you don't mind.
I'd like to be with
Yeah.
Okay.
Me
Yes.
too. Me too.
So this one is Grandstand. This is the old Will Hagen's location. As you can see, the occupancy currently is 375. Their hours of operation 11 to 10:30 on Sunday, and then 2 to 2 on Monday through Saturday, and then Friday 2 to 3. They are. This is kind of just their lighting and security plan. They currently are operating as a restaurant with an attached bar. They want to go to strictly a bar tavern. And that's really all I've got on that one. They haven't changed anything with their application. We did speak with Chief. There was some discussion with the tenant owner of Grandstand about the possibility of reducing their occupancy to 200. And we spoke with Chief, and he can kind of speak more on that if you had any specific questions about that.
Okay.
But
Okay. Yeah, just stay where you are.
Yeah,
Zach, mate.
yeah.
Welcome back.
Hey, thank you, council. Like we've stated before, the police department is against any more bars in that area. We feel like there is enough bars and it creates a more public safety hazard to add additional bars in that area. The occupancy is 375. We consider that a mega bar, and we are totally against it. I'll answer any questions you have. It's been discussed back and forth about a 200 occupancy, but after reconsidering everything, we feel like there are enough bars. We have stretched our people enough, and we can't do any more. So we are requesting that you deny this based on we have enough bars in that area already.
That's about all that's there.
Yes, sir.
So, Zach, remind me currently what do we have?
so this is a restaurant with an attached bar. So their food is open at all hours that they're open. So their kitchen is currently open until they close.
But they haven't been open lately.
I believe they've been open. Yeah, operating as the owner's here if he wants to
Yeah.
speak more on
Been
that,
open
but
for lunch? Not for lunch right now. Okay.
they're not required to be open.
I understand.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just went by there and it was closed. We open at 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock?
They did previously come to get a gastropub approval. That was denied. And then they submitted an application for the 200 occupancy limit for a gastropub that they then withdrew. They didn't go forward with that one. And now they're coming back to operate as a bar. Our understanding is that they want to kind of close the kitchen piece down and not do that piece anymore.
Raj, what hours are you right now? 4? Okay.
They currently operate as a restaurant and a bar?
Restaurant with an attached bar, so think like
And what-
Chili's or De Palma's.
What combined capacity does that give them?
That's 375 total occupancy.
So what they want to do now is drop their food service, become only a bar,
Correct.
but still, and they would still retain the 375 capacity.
Their application is 375. They've opened up the door to possibly 200. That conversation, however, meeting with Chief, he wasn't quite open to that. So it would be up to you guys if you did want to approve that to do that on the condition that it's a reduced occupancy like y'all did for Rhythm and Brews, or the 375, or deny altogether. Those are kind of y'all's three options, I guess, at this point.
Zach, right now, they
Yes,
could
sir.
have 375 people there?
That's right.
But as a restaurant, they're not gonna have that. But as a restaurant, I might imagine they'd ever have 375.
I don't know if they're hitting that.
Attached bar.
But then
You can
got-
go in
you
there
got
and
a
just
bar,
drink.
you could
right?
have-
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Just like you can go to Olive Garden and just get a drink. It's that similar concept. That's kind of how the differentiation between restaurant with attached bar versus just a bar, obviously, and then a gastropub. You can close your kitchen at a certain point to where it's basically just a bar from that point on.
But they don't want gastropub, they just.
That's
They
right.
just want to close the kitchen altogether.
That's right. And yeah, we are discussing some of this stuff in public safety. If we wanted to discuss these further there, that might be an option
Today?
today, yes, sir.
Oh,
It's a special called public safety.
oh, I thought it was, yeah, that's right, moved it up.
No, that might be a good
Did we
idea.
move it up from the 27th?
Yes, it's
I
listed.
will have
today.
additional
Mhm.
questions in the public safety.
Okay.
Okay,
It's good.
if anybody has any other questions, just make sure you're at the 4 o'clock special call meeting. Public safety, is that all you have?
No,
Oh,
we've
that's
got Crew Lounge, which is that hookah bar that down 69 South, that was also tabled last week. So that location, Old Lucy's restaurant, this is their kind of layout of their location. They will be, as you can see, that little bullet down at the bottom. They'll offer food and hookah, but they are limiting their patrons to 21 and up. That's why they're getting their bar tavern license rather than a restaurant retail. 6 to 8 occupants is what they previously were at that location, or the previous tenants were, and it's not going to change. Sunday, 12 to 2 a.m. Monday through Saturday, 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. And they stated that they will be serving food during all of those hours. They have their safety plan that we kind of discussed last week as well, and nothing again has changed from this application to last week, or from last week to this week.
Would y'all like me to speak on this during public safety or now?
It's up to you.
Okay.
Yes, fine, if you'd like to.
PD is completely against this one as well. We have no issues down 69 South right now. As far as bars and all that kind of stuff. Adding this, we've already got a current hookah lounge, in the city of Tuscaloosa. They're clearly going to be a bar. Their hours are 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. Those aren't restaurant hours; those are bar hours. What if with that size parking lot in there? What we foresee is a lot of partying in that parking lot, and then officers are going to have to go respond to that. We strongly feel like we are spread as thin as we can get, and that there are enough bars in Tuscaloosa. If we keep adding bars, and I can't stress this enough, that we are not going to be able to patrol your neighborhoods, any of your neighborhoods, if we're responding, send 4, 5, and 6 units to bars when there's a fight or there's shots fired or something like that. But we are completely against this establishment. It's nothing about the owners. It's just we can't keep adding bars in the city. We've got to do something else. And we feel like we're our capacity of what we can actually handle. So,
I will say this, and thank you for that.
Yes, sir.
I spoke, Rick Mayer is the owner of the whole shopping center, and he said that he's got in their contract that has to be 68% food. And he told them, and it's written in there that if they violate that, they're out. And no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And because he's not gonna have that element that's gonna be over 68% alcohol.
I can tell you that bottom, I don't know who they talked to about that. There will be no police officer allowed to work for them.
Yeah.
They're a bar. Tuscaloosa police officers cannot work at a bar.
Yeah, we told them that
So
last
that would
week.
be that. And I know, you also have a small occupancy of 68. We are dealing with other bars and hookah lounges right now that have small occupancies that we're having to clear out every single night, and it's taken away from any patrol time in all of y'all's districts because, we're the ones that get called at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning to deal with that and the problems they create.
Have we had any other issues when this was a bar at that location?
Yes, it was before my time as far as this, but Chief Clark said when we did have that, we did have shots fired in those parking lots a lot. And that's the thing, when you have a bar that's got that big of a parking lot, whether there's 68 people inside, there may be 200 people outside. Because a lot of people are just gonna conjugate. When we close down at 2 o'clock in the city of Tuscaloosa, All these people go from one parking lot to a gas station to another gas station. We are literally chasing them around for an hour and a half when that happens. Now, if we open up another location that's popular, people are going to gather. And that's what we're gonna be facing is right now, 69 South takes us a little bit to get to. We don't have any issues. We dealt with this on a different scale on McFarland for a while when we had Archibalds up there. It took officers a little bit to get there, but it also took them out of your neighborhoods. That one got shut down eventually. And I think if we just keep adding these, you're gonna run out of officers to respond to your domestics, to respond to people breaking into cars. I know y'all call and text me daily about, hey, can y'all do my neighborhood? There's this going, this going. If we keep adding bars, that's not gonna happen because the officers are not gonna have any spare time to go and do those type of things because those are the hours that people are breaking into cars. Those are the hours that we're getting out with suspicious people. And that's the thing is, I understand people want to make business and they want to make money, but if these keep getting approved, their money and their business is going to be over the well-being of the rest of the citizens in Tuscaloosa. Because I can't stand up here and say that we're going to have enough officers to go through these neighborhoods when I know they're going to be at these bars. So, thank you for your time.
Chief, has our officer level changed significantly in the last 24 months?
We still have 32 vacancies with
Isn't that roughly
15 in
what
training.
it's been for a
We
while?
are hanging on right now. We're
has-
stable, or we're not stable, we're
Has
level.
the officer level changed significantly in the last 24 months?
Well, we did drop initially about 2 years ago, right during the summer of 2020. We dropped down and we've lost a couple steady. Since y'all have done the pay increases, officer level will lose some, we'll get some, we'll lose some, we'll get some, so they'll stay steady since the pay raises has come in. Now, like I said, everybody's waiting on RSA. But
That
it stayed steady the last year or
is
two.
Generally level for about 2 years.
32 vacancies, yes, sir. It stays around that number. We may get up, but we'll go right back down.
So what's the variable? What is changing? Is it that we're adding more bars?
Yes, sir.
Is it that the behavior in the existing bars
What,
is different? What's the
That-
variable that's changing?
the outside element that's now coming to Tuscaloosa. I've been here for 18 years. Typically, for those first, I would say 15, we dealt with Tuscaloosa residents. And basically, Tuscaloosa patrons were visiting the bars. We've always chased people around bars. I don't want to act like we haven't. But now we're getting crowds in from Bessemer, Birmingham, Greene County, Selma. Tuscaloosa's become a popular place. But the problem is it's becoming popular for the wrong reasons at these locations. People are coming in to have a good time and discharge their firearm in parking lots. It's not the Tuscaloosa residents that we deal with so much. It's, clubs becoming more popular and people coming in for that entertainment. While that's successful, what you're also dealing with is you're bringing more people in that they don't care about the city of Tuscaloosa. They care about partying and go home. My thing is if we have less bars, hey, maybe they gotta go to Birmingham to cause their problems.
So, we don't need to deal with this now, we'll do it in public safety.
Yes, sir.
But that question then will be, are there other variables like closing time that legislatively
Yes, sir.
we can do to provide relief to that problem?
Yes, sir. And I'd be happy to discuss that in public safety. I just want to make sure I address this.
And Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
I've asked PD to be very strong in its opposition on these because in the day-to-day, I am, as I've said the last few meetings, very concerned about our ability to effectively respond within the city. The two applications you have before you need to proceed on and be voted up or down based off the merits and based off the concerns PD has brought. But I am very pleased that the council wants to engage in the discussion of a bars, tavern, gastropub moratorium. These applications, though, need to be judged on the merits, and certainly we believe the merits. I don't know anything with the businesses themselves, but I do think it puts an additional burden on an already stretched thin police department. And we are about to come up into probably the busiest fall in the city's history. And that worries me even more as I look over the horizon. So I would ask that the council keep that in mind. And we're very, very pleased that you want to have a discussion in Ms. Howard's meeting this afternoon, because I think it's appropriate and we're thankful that you want to do so. Because a lot of these issues, I think we need to continue to discuss and work through, hopefully find solutions for our men and women in the police department.
Okay. We will do just that.
We got one more item for you guys.
Oh, okay. That,
So this is plan unit development for North Village, which will be 131 single-family residential lots, 24 townhouse lots, 2 commercial lots, and 9 open space lots on approximately 80.5 acres. And this is just south of, I keep forgetting, I want to say Crimson Village, but
I know what you're saying.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. The assisted living facility, just east of North Ridge Road, close to the corner of Old Colony Road and North Ridge Road. Currently vacant, currently in the PJ, so in the planning jurisdiction, not in city limits. You can see that aerial, subject property, the adjacent property. So that intersection right there will, they're proposing to put a light at that intersection, and that's exactly where the crossing will be into this development as well. So again,
Could you back up?
Yes, sir.
a slide? Where is
The crossing.
The crossings at North River. So this is looking across the street from where the development will
This
be.
is looking across the street.
Yes, sir.
That's the retirement home?
Yes, sir.
Whatever.
And so that intersection, you'll be able to drive straight through with a light
They're gonna have a light.
into their new,
So this property's going right here,
correct.
and those 2 bridges running underneath the road are down there? Good times.
Traffic is not gonna back up morning traffic drop time back into Watermelon and Rice with the light right there.
I don't think engineering is in here, but that is a good question. They did provide a traffic study, and a signal there was what OCE kind of,
Is Old Colony
Desired.
Road where they come out? Is that where they'll?
there's going to be, I'll show you here. So there's 2 exit and entrance points. Actually, 2 exit points. I believe that will be a right out only, so you can't go left, I think, on that far eastern side. And then the signalized intersection will be on the left of your screen there. But that is a good question. I'll double
You know
check.
they're gonna turn left.
Uh-huh.
The right out has never stopped anyone.
They gonna have a bar?
That was my question. I wonder what kind of liquor.
Well, when the mayor and I went to speak to Capstone Village, first thing they asked us is about their alcohol
That's
license.
right. They wanted a bar, but I like the hours that closed at 4.
Yeah, that's my kind of bar right there.
Yeah.
That's the first thing they asked. They were excited. They got big applause.
Well,
Uh,
just, yeah.
I'd like somebody from engineering, because somebody that lives right over there.
Yeah, definitely.
I know the traffic patterns, and I worry that,
Yes, sir.
anyway, I'm sure they vetted it fully.
So just looking at this screen here, on the eastern side, there are the townhome lots. So those smaller lots there. The rest is commercial. There's kind of like a green kind of pathway through the middle there, you can see. That's just going to be like walking trails, essentially. And then the pink area on the top is your 2 commercial lots. So I just kind of zoomed in there for the commercial lots, and they are building an 8-foot shared use path along Old Colony that will go from that other entrance exit point all the way down to North Ridge Road along Old Colony.
Are they required to have 2 entrances, or do they just have 1?
I think yeah, they'll be required to have 2 entrances, 2 separate entrances now with the updated fire code. Which, you can see here, there's really probably never going to be a connection point on the eastern side because of the issues there with the floodway, and then the Alabama mental health on the western side, and some issues there. This is the proposed crosswalk at North Ridge Road. So we talked about them extending past their actual property line all the way to North Ridge Road and providing that crosswalk ramp to tie into the existing sidewalk.
Do they wanna build that, or do they want us to build it?
They're going to build it as part of this proposal.
Big whoop.
And then this is just some closer to the townhomes, the detail of the parking. They are going to have some guest parking as well as specific parking for each townhome in this area. And then some examples of the single-family dwellings, and then the townhomes, and the commercial space. This is identified as suburban residential as well as limited commercial. As you can see here, it conforms to both for framework, and it was unanimously recommended for approval in May.
How many acres does that sit on?
80.5.
80.5, wow.
Yes, sir.
That's big. Any questions for Zach? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Tony,
Eastern half of my obstacle course.
Mr. Mills.
All right, good afternoon, Council and
Afternoon,
Mayor.
buddy.
Just touching back bases, we've discussed part of them before. These two were tabled for last week. The first one I have is Black Warrior Burgers LLC Grandstand, applying for a lounge retail class 1 located at 2209 4th Street in the old Will Hagens. And the second application that I have is for Racked Up LLC DBA Crew Lounge going at 6571 Highway 69 South, Suite A. They're applying for a lounge retail liquor class 1 license.
Okay.
Okay.
Any questions? Mr. Mills, you gonna be at Public Safety today?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Mayor Maddox.
Real quick, we have our first town hall meeting coming up this Saturday at 7:30. Mr. Bell is graciously allowing me to join his Saturday morning coffee group that he has out there. So we'll be there from 7:30 to 9:30. Last time we had a pretty large group
I usually have 1 or 2 at the most, and we had a dozen. But actually had 2 people show up this Saturday. They were so excited, they got there a week early.
They can't wait. But it really enjoyed, and for those, I know that all of you know this, but their design is come and go. It's to give people an opportunity to drop in, they've got a question on their mind. And we try to do our best not only to hear that, but solve the problems. And I know last year we were able to, as you saw in the email chain, solve a lot of the problems that people came and discussed with us. So look forward to it. We're trying to do different times, different days, but just because we're in one district doesn't mean if you're from North Tuscaloosa or West Tuscaloosa, if you're in the area or want to come over to Jack. So certainly don't let geography bind you from not coming. So look forward to it. I also want to quickly change gears and say thank you to our arts and entertainment staff. The last 2 Live at the Plazas, although we don't really keep official numbers, have probably been the 2 largest we have ever seen. So the community is really coming out to Live at the Plaza. Kay and her team have just done a fantastic job organizing it. Richard and his team have done a great job promoting it, and I'm really proud of that. Somewhere Matt Calderon's probably smiling. That was his idea, and it has turned into something special, and we're really proud of the council's support of it. It's a great community event. So we have a town hall meeting coming up on the 30th there. It'd be a good chance too, if you'd like, come on out and just see exactly what your team is doing. It'll make you proud.
We may, I may, after meeting the summer yesterday, I got, I think it's a positive thing, but Friday, I got some texts from people who were planning to go, and they asked could we have some extra porta potties or something out there. And because the crowds are so huge, and especially, there's only one, I guess, bathroom. So Summer, we talked yesterday, and they mentioned about the possibility of what was it?
The trailers, kind of like you asked.
Like the trailers, like you, because as the crowds grow and things like that, it's that may be something we can add to her budget.
We're even going to be looking at streets and having maybe even potentially, I know somewhere Chief Blankley wants to throw something at me, even looking at maybe have to block off the streets. Because we're having so many young people, kids running, we don't want them running out into the road. I mean, these are good problems for
They are,
us
I mean, that is.
as a community, but really proud. It's a great cross-section of Tuscaloosa, and so please, come on out. But I want to thank our team, Richard and Kay and the whole group, construction, facilities, and grounds. Everyone that touches it does such a fantastic job and takes such great ownership.
Mayor, I would echo that, both to your staff involved and to Mr. Calderon, who should feel proud of it. That thing grew legs and stuck, and it is good, clean, family fun. It is a good, clean environment to be in, and it's a lot of fun down there. So everybody did a great job on that.
Okay, that it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any department heads, any staff that have anything they'd like to bring at this time? Okay. Mr. Holmes.
Good afternoon, council. We are, I guess, over in my typical place right here at the very bottom of page 2, where on page 21 you'll be approving job class specifications for arts and entertainment. This came from admin committee last week. On page 22, you'll be reimbursing the local chapter of the NAACP for city fees related to the annual Juneteenth parade. This comes to you from the mayor. On page 23, you'll be authorizing a cooperative maintenance agreement between the Alabama Department of Transportation regarding portions of McFarland Boulevard and Skyland Boulevard and Highway 69. This comes from projects last week. On page 24, you'll be authorizing a maintenance agreement with AlDOT regarding a cooperative maintenance agreement for city improvements made within AlDOT right-of-way under the Hugh Thomas Bridge. This is for the River District Park, Martin Luther King, Jack Warner Parkway improvements, and came from projects last week. On page 25, you'll be authorizing the contract with TTL for professional environmental assessment services. This is a total not to exceed $40,000 and came to you in projects last week. On page 26, you'll be authorizing a services contract with STC Worldwide. That's a total of $1,475 and again came projects last week. On page 27, you'll be authorizing a minor public works contract with Building Specialties Company. It's a total of $1,270 and again came to projects last week. On page 28, you'll be authorizing a minor public works contract with Freeman Sheet Metal. That is a total of $3,700 and was on projects last week. On page 29, you'll be authorizing amendment number 1 to a professional services contract with Garner and Associates for engineering. This is a total amount of $18,500 and was in projects last week. On page 30, you'll be authorizing a minor public works contract with Premier Services Company. This is a total not to exceed $9,500. It is doubled up and will be on projects today. And I must say, kudos to my fellow department heads with the holiday schedule. I believe this is the only doubled up item, which shows how they're working in advance, which makes, I know, my life and y'all's lives a little easier. On page 31, you'll be authorizing a minor public works contract with J&L Tree Services. A total of $5,000 came from projects last week. On page 32, you'll be approving, authorizing the purchase of equipment, supplies, and services. This is a total of $21,360.98. This comes from purchasing. On page 33, you'll be authorizing disbursement from District 2 improvement funds for back to school drive, including hygiene packs. This is a total of $2,681.20 came through finance last week. On page 34, you'll be authorizing disbursement from District 2 improvement funds for the Stillman College cheerleaders. This is a total of $1,000 and came from finance last week. On page 35, you'll be amending the resolution of May 17th, 2021, entitled Resolution Establishing Rules of Procedure for Conducting City Council Meetings. This comes from Councilor Busby. On page 36, you'll be authorizing the mayor to execute an amended joint funding agreement with the University of Alabama for the Northington Property Access Road Improvements Project Section 1 and 2. This is a total not to exceed $135,000 and comes from the mayor. On page 37, you'll be appointing and reappointing members to various boards and commissions. On page 38, you'll be amending section 20-54, subsection B of the Code of Tuscaloosa. This is reauthorizing a one-year extension to Invest Tuscaloosa. On page 39, you'll be amending Exhibits A and B of Section 19-42 and 19-68 of the Code of Tuscaloosa regarding job classifications for art and entertainment, and that came from admin last week. Any questions for me?
Any questions for Scott?
Thank you, Council.
Okay, thank you, Scott. Projects 2:30, Finance 3:15, the special call, Public Safety, 4 o'clock. That will be very important today, especially 6 o'clock council meeting. No council or committee meetings next week due to Juneteenth holiday. There will be a 5 o'clock meeting tomorrow, Historic Preservation Commission. Anybody else have anything to bring before pre-council this time? No? There a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion second to adjourn. Excuse me. All in favor say aye.
Aye.